Hello everyone, I'm prepping my 5 meals from our 1 week dinner at home challenge. So I have my recipes printed out here from the website. I had 15 to choose from and I chose 5 that I'm going to prep for this week. So I'm going to get started. I have everything already set out, have all my meat into bags, my ingredients ready to go. So I am starting with the baked chicken Parmesan. This is a great way to have chicken Parmesan for a fraction of the cost. Much, much cheaper than it's going to cost you to get it at Olive Garden. Much, much cheaper and much healthier too. So it's actually not fried chicken Parmesan. It is baked chicken Parmesan. So a lot better for you. See if my pepper's going to work for me today. It's been a little cranky lately. A little bit's coming out. Okay, so I've got my chicken here. I'm going to add my seasonings on top. There we go. Okay, now it's finally starting to work. And got to get my salt out here. So I have all my ingredients set out. I have a trash can nearby, so that way it just makes prep go super fast and super smooth. These meals are super easy too. If you don't cook, you can cook these, trust me. The directions are all there for you. The measurements are all there for you. One of the best parts is that the recipes can be customized by whatever serving size that you need. So for my family, we have 5. I usually pare it down to about 4. So it's the perfect size for my family, and you can make it work for whatever size family that you have, which is what I love. Okay, a little bit of garlic going on here. Whoop, making a little bit of a mess. That's all right, it'll still taste good. So, in case you're wondering, how is this gonna be chicken Parmesan? Because chicken Parmesan is usually breaded, right? Well, on cooking day, we are going to crush up some croutons. And that's gonna be like our breading. So much healthier than having like something fried and breaded, right? And yeah, and they're super tasty too. So you can choose whatever type of croutons you like. I love the Texas toast croutons. And so that's what we're going to use. Let's see, I think that's all I need. So when you're done with that, just give it a quick cover. I'm gonna cover mine with a lid, but you can cover yours with foil. And it's gonna tell you everything that you need to do to prep the meal and everything that you will need to do to cook it. And that's all gonna go on your custom grocery list. So that is meal number 1. These meals are so easy to prep and so easy to cook. There you go. There's the first one. Set that behind me here. So meal number 2 I'm going to prep is one of our very favorites, is the slow cooked Mississippi pot roast. So I have my printout here, and you can also just do these straight from your iPad or on your phone. Okay, so I have my roast in a bag. I think one of the most awesome things about this is I actually got this roast on sale. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick layer of salt and pepper. And if you get all your cans and your packages open before you start prepping, it just makes everything go a little bit faster. So that is one tip too that I would tell you, especially if you haven't prepped before. Just try to get everything out and get everything open, and it just really does make it go faster. It doesn't seem like it would help that much to open everything first, but I promise, just try it. It really does. Okay, so a little bit of olive oil. This is another really easy recipe because it literally is just put everything in the bag, which is my favorite type of recipe. So most of these are just really, really simple and much cheaper to eat at home, right, than to eat out. Okay, a little bit more of that. Okay, this is my dry ranch seasoning, which I'm going to use for another meal. So I'm going to keep that there. And then my dry onion soup mix. This is one of our members' favorites. It is one of my family's favorites too. They could eat this every week and they would be happy. So it is so, so delicious. Okay, I got a little bit of butter here that I've already measured out. And our last, the key ingredient, which is what makes it so, so good, are pepperoncini peppers. Trust me, even if you don't think you like these peppers, you have to put these in here because they are so, so good. So with the dinner at home challenge, you can pick 5 recipes from the 15 you're gonna get, and you're also gonna get 2 bonus dessert recipes, which who doesn't love dessert? If you wanna get your kids excited about eating at home, make a dessert for the week, and they'll be super excited. So I picked 5. I went in and I changed my serving size because you can adjust your serving size. It's going to print you a grocery list. And if you want to, you can even click, there's a button where you can click Shop with Instacart. So you don't even have to print it if you don't want to. You can just send it straight to your Instacart. So there we go. Got that all mixed around. I won't worry too much about the butter because it's going to melt on cooking day. So there is my second meal. Put it right there. That's meal number 2. These are super, super easy and fast. Okay, meal number 3 is another one of our favorites. This one is also on the Dinner at Home Challenge. And all I have to do for this one is just prep the sauce. So I have a mason jar. I'm going to keep my sauce in. That way it has a lid and it won't leak out in the fridge and everything like that. So these are the easy Salisbury steak meatballs. They are incredibly delicious. I have some beef broth and butter there. And then we have some other yummy ingredients like our Worcestershire. Do I want to use that one? Yeah. And all the measurements, when you sign up for the Dinner at Home Challenge, all the measurements are going to be right there, ready to go. So you will know exactly how much of everything to put in. Like I said, if you want to adjust the recipes to a different serving size, it will just automatically adjust those ingredients and those measurements for you. Okay, you got some mushrooms here. They're kind of large. Some really large mushrooms there. If your family doesn't like mushrooms, you can leave them out, but they do add flavor, so you could just pick around them after they're already cooked. And then we have some ketchup here. Ketchup. Oh, there we go. Okay, this sauce is so yummy. So this is gonna go with meatballs. So you don't have to prep the meatballs ahead of time because they're already done for you. You're just gonna buy meatballs. It's gonna be on your customized grocery list, tell you how many meatballs to buy. And on cooking day, this is gonna be a slow cooker meal. So on, I made a mess there. On cooking day, you are going to simply just take your sauce. I like to give it a good shake. Take your sauce, give it a good shake. Take your meatballs, plop it in the slow cooker, and that is it. And you're also gonna get suggested serving sides that are gonna go on your grocery list. So with this, we're gonna have mashed potatoes and peas, and that is meal number 3. So easy. Okay, let me just kind of wipe that up a little bit so it's a little nicer. Okay, so meal number 3 is done. This is a sheet pan meal, and this one is so delicious and so easy. And on cooking day, you're only gonna have one thing dirty. So I have my potatoes here. We kind of have a assortment here of potatoes. And I'm gonna go ahead and have a bag for my veggies. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that right here. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop my potatoes into small bite-sized pieces. So the key here when you're chopping your potatoes is you do want them to be small. And we're talking like kid bite-sized pieces, not like man bite-sized pieces. So we're gonna chop them up small and put them in a separate bag here. So our veggies are gonna go in one bag, and our pork is gonna go in the other bag. So I went ahead, and when I got my meat into bags, I washed all my produce that I needed for my prep. So that's already been done. And let's see, got the baby in the background there. Okay, so I'm gonna chop these up in small bite-sized pieces, trying to pay attention so I don't cut myself. There we go. And if you have one of those like Genius choppers, you can let it do the work for you, but I don't have one of those. So, okay, so see, I'm gonna show you. Oops, I kind of messed that one up. I'm doing very small pieces, so just so you can kind of get an idea. Obviously, the quicker or the smaller that you chop, the quicker they're gonna cook. So, and you're gonna cook the pork and your veggies, potatoes and green beans, all at the same time. So this little potato looks a little suspect. We just bought this bag, and it's looking a little suspect, but I think it's gonna be, I think it's okay. So, okay. So yes, this is a sheet pan meal. You want to make sure you get them small. And you are prepping your potatoes ahead of time, but they're going to be coated in oil. And that oil is what's going to help them to stay good in your refrigerator, because it's going to coat them and it's going to keep them from browning by having that oil there. Okay. Got all kinds of noises going on here in the background. The lawn people decided they were gonna join us. So, okay, I'm done with the potatoes. I'm gonna go ahead and put my green beans in my bag. So there's my potatoes, and then I have just some frozen. I like the whole ones, but the cut green beans. So these are gonna all cook together. I love some green beans. Okay, so in this, we're gonna go ahead and set this aside. Then we also have our pork bag. So these are our pork chops, and then we have our veggies right here. But I'm gonna go ahead and set these aside because we are going to make a little bit of a sauce. Oops, I don't destroy things here. Okay, we're gonna make a little bit of a sauce. So we're going to put in here our olive oil, which I should have probably grabbed the one that I can pour with, but you know what? This works too. So we have our olive oil and our garlic. This is one of our member favorites. Another one that's super good that everybody always loves, and I would definitely say that this is a kid favorite too. So I'm gonna go a little bit heavy on my garlic there because it's just so good. Okay. I got my dry ranch seasoning. This is what makes this so good. Once again, this dry ranch seasoning. And I love that these recipes use like common ingredients. And they use a lot of the same ingredients. So that way you are, you know, kind of buying the same things and then actually using them up. Okay, and then my last ingredient is my parsley. Where did you go, little guy? Okay, so I have my parsley here. I'm just gonna pour that in. And I'm gonna give that a good stir. A little bit more olive oil there. It's gonna be so good. This one has so much flavor. And like I said, sheet pan meal, so you get it all, you're only gonna get one pan dirty. And if you will line your sheet pan with foil whenever you cook it, then that'll be, you won't even have to clean up your sheet pan. You can just throw the foil away. And yeah, you can't really get any easier than that. And since it's gonna be already prepped, it's gonna make it so super simple. Okay, I'm gonna do a tiny bit more olive oil just so that way it has I went a little overboard on some of my ingredients there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to put part of this mixture into our pork bag and part of this mixture into our veggie bag. So I'm gonna put most of it with my pork and then the rest with my veggies, and I'm just gonna give it a good shake. This is a great place where your kids can help. Zip up the bags and let them shake away. Let them squish it all around to get all that seasoning everywhere. Oh, this is gonna be so good. I am going to add some salt and pepper to both bags before I zip and shake them. So my pepper, I'm gonna go ahead and get my salt going. There we go. There we go, salt. So on cooking day, this really is just a one-pan meal, but it also has, on your grocery list, it'll say you can, it'll have a salad on there. So you can serve this one with a salad as well. And that's all going to go on your customized grocery list, which is going to be divided by section of the store. So it's going to make it really fast getting in and out of the store. And then, like I said, if you want to do Instacart, you can just, there's a little button you can press and you can say, send to Instacart, and it's going to send it over there for you, and it'll let you edit, you know, maybe what brand or how many you want, but it's going to do all the work for you. So I am going to do one more thing. I'm going to give my potatoes one more coat of oil just to make sure they're completely coated. That will keep them from turning brown, but you can prep potatoes ahead of time. As long as you do that step, they will stay good. This is going to be so good. Okay, so there is my ranch pork chop dinner sheet pan meal. I do want to, these little silicone bags are a little bit harder to kind of squish around. So I'm going to squish this pork a little bit more. I should get my kids in here to help me do this one. Okay, so let me kind of get all that yummy goodness spread around the pork. There we go. Okay, so that one is meal number 4. You guys, this has been super fast, and we are almost done with 5 meals. I'm going to just set this right there so you can see what we've done so far. Okay, meal number 5 is the broiled garlic butter steak bites. So you can't go wrong with steak, and my husband is going to love this one, and my kids actually really love steak too. So for this one, we are also going to use a bag for our steak, and we're going to go ahead and use a bag for our asparagus. I have already washed my asparagus, so we do have to cut the woody ends off. So for this one, it says you're going to cut your steak into 1-inch pieces. Go ahead and do that whenever you get your meat into bag. So there's my steak. And then the next thing we're going to do, set that aside, is we're going to chop our parsley. Now, I just took off part of the head of parsley that I got. It was ginormous. And once again, when I got my meat ready, I went ahead and washed any produce that I needed. So that all that's done ahead of time, and it just makes, I'm going to take these stems off here. It just makes prep go so much faster, so you're not making trips back and forth to your sink. You just get it all prepped and ready to go, and then the prep goes really fast. So, okay, I'm going to chop up this parsley. Actually, should have used my herb scissors. That would have been a lot easier. So, kind of get it small. This is going to go with your butter mixture. This is what is going to make the steak so delicious. So it says we're going to chop this, and we're going to add it with the next 3 ingredients in a small bowl. So give it, I like it. My kids are going to really like it much better, smaller. So I'm going to try to get it real tiny. They will eat it better if it's smaller when it comes to green stuff. So, but they're going to love this meal. Okay, so I have in this bowl my butter, and then I put in my parsley in there, and then it calls for a little bit of olive oil, and of course some garlic. So I'm gonna put in plenty of garlic. That's what's gonna make it so super yummy. I got my minced garlic there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and microwave this, and that way it melts the butter, and then we're gonna pour it into our steak bag. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my butter all melted there. Actually, there's a little chunk left, but we're gonna go ahead and put that right into our steak bag here, and we're just gonna smush all that together to get all those yummy, yummy flavors onto our steak. And then when we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and get our asparagus ready, and then that's it. That will be meal number 5. So let me just give this a good shake around here, squish around, get all that garlic and butter. Oh my goodness, this one's gonna be so good. This one's gonna be so good. This is actually our dinner tonight. So this is one of the meals from the Dinner at Home Challenge. There are 15 to choose from, plus 2 desserts, and I picked 5, and we're prepping 5 of those. So, okay, let's give that, should put that extra parsley in there. Okay, now we're gonna trim up our asparagus. So let me kind of give this a wipe. Get rid of this. Okay, bring that over here. This makes it a little bit better. Not that much better, but. Okay, so our asparagus, once again, when I wash my produce, I've already washed my asparagus. So I'm gonna take that rubber band off. I like to keep the rubber band on so that way it's easier to keep contained. So break it wherever it naturally breaks, and this is the woody end, so that's the part we're gonna get rid of. And we're gonna just kind of take that as a guide for the rest of the asparagus. So pop that over here, put that in my trash bowl, and then this is going to go in our bag. So in this, all we're gonna do is put some salt and pepper and olive oil. So easy. Give it some yummy, yummy flavor. This is gonna be a sheet pan meal. Once again, you're only gonna get one pan dirty, which is my favorite kind of meal. So sheet pan meal, and then we're also gonna serve this with mashed potatoes, which will also go on your grocery list. So it's just gonna make everything super easy. You don't even have to think about, what am I gonna have with this? It's all done for you. And you can change those serving sizes. It's gonna print out your grocery list. So you're gonna go in, choose which 5 meals you wanna do for the Dinner at Home Challenge. Change your serving size. You can toggle it up or down. And then it's gonna give you that grocery list and that menu. Get all your stuff out and prep your meals. And you guys, dinner is gonna be so fast and so easy. Okay, so this is meal number 5. Let me do a quick recap, show you our 5 meals that we've done. So this was the broiled garlic butter steak bites, the ranch pork chop dinner. I'm gonna kind of stack them. The Mississippi pot roast, one of our very, very favorites. The easy Salisbury steak meatballs, which is the sauce here. And then the very first one we did was the chicken parmesan, baked chicken parmesan. So 5 yummy, easy meals and not too much time. Join our Dinner at Home Challenge. See how much money it's gonna save you and see how much stress it's gonna save you during the week.